S. Manipriya, would like to welcome you all for the fourth day of Faculty Development Program. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. As per the saying, we all gathered virtually to gain knowledge and skill to make the world a better place. I'm so glad to welcome our special guest, Mr. Raja Atmamayan, SN Transformation Ventures, for this faculty development program on the topic Professional Positivism. I would like to welcome our chairman, Mr. Senguttuvan, Secretary Ma'am Hemalata Senguttuvan, Governing Council member Raghavi Senguttuvan, who takes up such a wonderful initiative to inculcate knowledge to all the teaching professionals across India. I would also like to extend my warm welcome to our principal, Dr. G. Vincent. Welcome you, sir. Next, I would like to welcome all the department heads and faculty members from various institutions. I welcome you all once again. Now, I call upon Mr. Aravind, Assistant Professor, to give a brief introduction of our chief guest, Mr. Raja Atmamayam.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. A warm welcome to all of you. I am extremely overwhelmed to get this opportunity to address Mr. Raja Atmamayam on this auspicious occasion of the fourth day FDP program on the topic of professional positivism. Raja is a qualified mechanical engineer with masters in business administration, a Six Sigma professional, and the vice president of Ascent Transformation Ventures. Mr. Raja is a unique mix of external and internal excellence expertises. He is a certified trainer by Data Carnage Inc. USA. He had over 20 years of corporate life, mainly in a leading company, TVS Group of Company. He has also been a noted writer of transformative articles and blogs in the Times of India in the topic of Speaking Tree Network in the name of Atmamayan Raja. He authored a book titled named Tírvuகளின் திறவுகோல் in Tamil. So such a wonderful person with a versatile knowledge. I welcome Mr. Raja Atmamayan for this fourth day FDP program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Manipriya. Thank you, Aravind. And I thank Valluvar College for providing me this opportunity. My thanks to Senguttuvan sir, Mrs. Senguttuvan, and Madam Raghavi Senguttuvan, and all the faculty members who are present here and who are spending your valuable time in listening to this program. So, the topic is very, very interesting for me, actually, at least, because this topic is based on my own experience. So I really love speaking about this topic, and especially in this COVID times, right from last year, so much of lockdowns are there. And I used to give this lecture to so many companies and through online. And I felt very purposeful, in fact, by sharing this small thing with all the people. And thank you, participants. And today's probably I can assure you that there is going to be some takeaway for you. And takeaway means there will be some practice sessions, which if you practice daily, definitely it is going to give you better results. So that much I can assure you. To start with, the topic is called professional positivism. Positivism. So I called it as an ism. Ism means what? We have many religions are called Hinduism, Christianism, Islamism, like Buddhism, Jainism, or even theism, atheism, right? So any ism means when there are people who practice that, then that becomes an ism, ism. Okay. Right. So positivism is the term. I just felt that it is very valid, because if so much people are following positivity, then that can become a positivism. Okay. So thank you very much. So this professional positivism is it not only it is highlighting, it can highlight in your profession, but it can highlight wherever you go and whatever you do. So positivism is something which is very inherent in everybody. So let us be very clear that it is not something which has to come from outside, inside you. It is already present inside every one of us. So all we have to do is invoke that. Okay. So let us have a small try whether we are really capable of positivism. Okay. Many people may be having some doubts. See, so much negative thing is happening, and how can I be very positive? And a lot of doubts are there. So let us give a try for that. So this is a small activity, which means everybody can participate in this, all the participants. And what I want to do is I will give a term. I'm going to just give a term, and you are going to share something very positive out of that term, right? Whatever is very positive about that term, so that you can share in your chat boxes. So let me have a look at the chat boxes also. After telling the term, whatever very positive things which comes to your mind, you can just type in the chat box and in a one-liner, so that everybody can have a look at it. Okay, right. So I want you to tell the positive aspects of the term which I am about to tell right now. Okay, you have to tell what are the positive effects of that term. Okay, I have not revealed the term. Okay, but I'm just telling what you are. After hearing the term, immediately you have to list the positive things out of the term, right? Okay, the term is, here we go, listen carefully. The term is tsunami. Tsunami. Everybody have heard that term? Tsunami, tsunami. Okay, now you can share in the chat boxes whatever the positive outcomes of tsunami. Okay, let me see. Empathy, helping, caring, super, fantastic, amazing. Togetherness, beautiful. Humanity, wow. Adopted children, selflessness, super, fantastic. Unity, humanity. So many people are typing humanity, and life is very precious. Okay, we learned the value of life. Okay, fantastic. It is a nature means it gives us a humility, brotherhoodness, beautiful. Patriotism, very nice. It taught us a lesson, so many lessons it taught. A consciousness, wow, so great. Okay, enough, fantastic. Okay, so here we saw a small test, and we have typed so many positive aspects of a tsunami, right? So whatever it is, so tsunami means the humanity will come together, and there will be like there won't be any discrimination between religion, caste. There won't be any means people will become one during that time, and they help each other. And even the governments, they also are many times they may be lethargic, but the thing is, when there is a tsunami, then automatically the government also put their boots on, and they do the firefighting. And a lot of people, they empathize with the happening, and they contribute really widely. And everything we have seen, right? So much of positivity has come out of the society. when such a calamity happens. Yes or no? Okay. So what I'm just trying to do is, let's have a small exploration. So the word tsunami, when we heard that word, okay, what was the first thing which flashed in our mind? Okay, anyway, I have just prepared your mind for seeing positive things. But the thing is, if I not prepared your mind, what would have been your view about tsunami? Okay, you can just type on the chat boxes something which actually you would have thought. Water, lot of water. Okay, big waves, killing in masses. Yes, it's a killing in masses, loss, disaster. Okay, fantastic. Okay, enough. Dead bodies. Yeah. Yes. Now I understand. Okay, right. So it's a small experimentation. So negative thinking is an automatic process for us, but that negative thinking can be overridden with the positive thinking. So that is what we have seen here, right? So everybody is capable of thinking positively, provided we choose to think positively. Okay, it's a choice. Otherwise, what happens? We go on with the negative thinking. So let us go still deeper into it. So I'm not a psychologist basically. I don't want to go more about psychology. But the thing is, I'm an enthusiast of psychology because I read psychology. I'm not a qualified psychologist, but the thing is, being a corporate trainer, psychology is a must for me. So I started learning psychology, means reading psychology from various sources, and out of that only I got a lot of interest in psychology. And basically, I read a lot of ancient Indian scriptures also, like Patanjali Yoga Sutra, which is from where I'm going to quote a lot of things during this talk here. So these texts really give a beautiful outline of a human mind. Okay. So really fantastic thing our ancestors have given us. So provided if we learn from that, it will be of great use for us, right? So first automatic thought process comes is on hearing the word tsunami is a negative thing, because we have witnessed that, right? So immediately that negative things come up. Then when I say, okay, you have to say something positively, what happens inside the mind is you are ordering your brain to see positive things out of the adversity. Okay. Immediately what happens when your brain chooses to see positive things, then automatically positive things are coming before you. You are able to see positive things, right? If we have not chosen that option, then automatically we will see only negative things around. Yes or no? So positive thinking is a choice which we make. Then you can also ask the question that why our automatic thinking is a negative. Okay, you can ask there is an answer for that. And most of the humanity, they strive on fear, right? So right from our childhood, we have been brought up with fear. Okay, so fear and means you can just go to your childhood and how people around you, including your parents, used to warn you about so many other things. Hey, don't go there, you will fall down. Don't go alone, the devil will come over. So these kind of stuffs are there. So we have been fed with the fear and negative things right from our childhood. So that becomes our base. Okay, positive thing is already there, but that is not coming out. First thing which comes out is the negative thing. Okay, so we can experience it because day in day out we are seeing that. So we can really understand why our first thought is a negative thought. Okay, suppose we are all faculty members. I hope most of you would have been married and having kids. Okay, so let us assume you have a girl of around 17 years of age, and she is just going out, telling you that she is going to her friend's house. She is also telling the name of the friend, whom she is going. So she promised you that she will return home by 6 o'clock in the evening. Okay. You are also letting her to go. At 6 o'clock, she has not returned home. Okay. So as a parent, you will be slightly worried, and then you will override that with lot of thought like, okay, only 6 o'clock, no problem. Then it happens 7 o'clock. Still, she has not come back home. Okay. Then you will be little worried. Then you will call her. When you call her, her phone is switched off. Okay. Then just imagine what will go through inside you. Okay. Just imagine this scenario. So slowly panic, slight panic feeling will start gripping you. Then immediately you recollect the name of the friend she informed you about meeting. So you call that friend, and what happens? That phone was also switched off. Okay. Then you are waiting, and it happened 9 o'clock. So immediately you will lose all your patience. Okay. Then panic grips up, unable to contact anybody, and the daughter has not returned home. She promised 6 o'clock. Now it is night 9 o'clock. She has not come home. And if it is if it is 10 o'clock, then the situation will be even more worse. So panic starts gripping, right? So at you are very restless. Your body temperature, means your blood pressure shoots up, your tension shoots up, and your anxiety level is very high. All these things starts happening in your body. Okay. Why all these things are happening in your body? Because there is something called mind inside. So there is a close relationship between mind and body. Okay. So when the mind becomes tensed, automatically it starts reflecting in your body. So that is the reason the World Health Organization, it says that 80% of the diseases are psychosomatic in nature, which means psychosomatic means what? Psycho means mind. Soma means body. Okay. So psychosomatic means the diseases which happen in the body with the effect of the mind. Okay. So that's called psychosomatic disease. So we can really feel it actually. Whenever we get tensed, immediately that gets reflected in your body. You will start feeling the feverish, and your head will start, your giddiness comes, and so many other things. Your BP shoots up or shoots down, and you may feel like fainting. So all these things, right? So all these things are caused because of the mind. So at 9:30, you are feeling all these things. Then suddenly what happens? An auto comes, and your daughter is returned home. Okay. She says that she lost her phone, mobile phone. Somebody has stolen, and even the friend's phone also somebody has stolen, because they have kept the phone in the same bag, and the bag was stolen. So they have gone to the police station. They have given a complaint and all these things, and went to the friend's home, and they consoled themselves, and then she returned back, something like that. Okay. So it is 9:30. So all this time, so till 6 o'clock, you are very patient, and after that, you started panicking, right? Why we need to panic? Why all these things are happening? Anyway, your home is her home, right? And she is 17 years. She knows that she should come back home by night. She knows that. She knows the way to your home. She knows everything. She knows the city. She knows all the ways in the city, right? Everything she knows. Then why there is a panic? Because we are seeing so many things in the society which is not right, which is happening to the, especially for the young girls, right? So all these things have entered our mind and got programmed in our mind, in the subconscious mind. Okay. So I'll come to what is subconscious mind, but before that I'm saying, let us say it's a mind. So it got programmed in the mind. So when the time is running out, immediately the already existing program, which is not a good program at all, it's a very bad program which is there, but that program is surfacing in your mind. So that is getting played like a tape recorder again and again and again and again. So that is creating a panic situation. Okay. So now you can understand this already existing. I call it as impressions. Not only me, so many. It's a term. It's called impressions, subconscious impressions. Okay. So subconscious impressions is already existing, which is based on the fear and anxiety. We have been programmed like that. Okay, so that is why anything which is happening, the first automatic response is not very positive. Immediate response is a negative one, which is fear oriented, or which is distress oriented, distrust. Okay, so these kind of things, then immediately that has to be overridden with the positive thought process. Okay, so that is our mechanism. That is what is happening. So anyway, that is possible, right? So once you override your negative thoughts with the positive thoughts, immediately you start seeing the possibilities. Okay, if you have a negative thought, you don't see the possibility, but if you have a positive thought, you really see the possibility, right? So we can get a solace, number one. Next thing is we can get a plan how to move ahead. Yes, there is a calamity which has happened. Okay, so what next? So that will be the attitude of a positive people, right? So positive people means it is not that they won't feel any negativity at all. No, not like that. As a human being, everybody has negative feelings. Why? I'm going to tell you right now. But negativity exists in everybody. Okay, but at the same time, positivity also exists within everybody. So the thing is, we can invoke the positivity. Okay, so now we are going into, so we just understood what is the positive thinking. So this is the beginning of it. Now we have understood the difference between difference between negative thinking and positive thinking, and we have understood why negative thinking is an automatic process for us, and the positive thing has to be developed separate, means invoked separately. So why it is not happening automatic? And another question, can it happen automatically? Of course, yes, we are going to see that also. Okay, right. So now we are just going to enter into something called a subconscious mind. Okay, subconscious mind. So what is subconscious mind? So first of all, what is mind? Mind is we can say very see, actually the thing is what I'm going to say about human mind is very less today, because I'm telling you, mind is like an ocean. Nobody can know the entire ocean. Okay, so likewise, nobody can know the entire operations of a mind. Okay, I can say that I also do not know much about mind, but whatever I know, I'm just sharing. Okay, it's very limited thing which I'm going to share right now. At least see, people may not know ocean, but the thing is, if you ask a fisherman, he knows certain part of the ocean, yes or no. So like you go to a fisherman and you ask you show a particular type of fish, and you ask the fisherman where this kind of fish will be available. That fisherman will show the direction. Okay, you go northwards around 15-20 miles, you go, then put your net inside, then you will get this kind of fishes. Okay, and in Tamil Nadu area, especially in the Tuticorin, they people dive into the water and they collect the pearls and other corals and other things, right? So they know where it is available. They may not know the entire ocean, but they dive into the particular area and they collect all those things from the ocean bed. Okay, so like that, we can know some activities of human mind. Even that itself will be very beneficial for our life. Knowing this will be really beneficial. So that is what we are going to learn right now in this program. So let me put it very simply. I'm just going to tell you very simply, okay, so that everybody can understand so easily. I'm not going to complicate it at all. Mind means there are three layers of mind. One is the conscious mind. Conscious mind means which we are seeing, we are listening, we are speaking, right? All these actions are done through conscious mind. Okay. Second is the subconscious mind. Subconscious mind means you can just imagine like a CD, compact disc. Okay. Compact disc, you can store anything in a compact disc. You can store a video, you can store an audio, you can store a song, anything. Okay. So it's a compact disc. It doesn't differentiate anything. You can store a very good song, or you can store a very bad song, very nasty song also. Anything you can store, that compact disk will accept, right? So our subconscious is like that. It doesn't differentiate what you store. Okay, anything and everything gets stored in the subconscious mind. What is getting stored in the subconscious mind? I said anything and everything. So right from our birth till today, whatever has happened in our life, it has been stored in the subconscious mind. It is available there. Whether we may remember or not, that is another matter. We may not remember everything, but your subconscious carries everything. I can say that everything, whatever we experienced right from our birth till date, it is available in our subconscious mind. Okay. So this subconscious mind, whatever the impressions we carry in the subconscious mind, that develops into our character. From our character comes our behavior. From our behavior comes the response to our behavior is our life. Okay. So you see the connection? Subconscious mind impression. From the impression comes the character. So what are the kinds of character? 3 kinds of characters are there, which I am going to say. The Patanjali Yoga Sutra, it says 3 components of the character. Okay. One is called as Sattvic. Sattvic means you can say all positive character is Sattvic. Okay. Sattvic character, loving, helping, caring, honesty, sincerity, discipline, devotion, sympathy, empathy. Okay. All these positive qualities, and also courage, conviction. Okay, valor, bravery, all these things are positive, right? So any positive quality is called sattva. Okay, sattva quality. Then there is a tamas quality. Exactly opposite to all these qualities is the tamas quality. Means hatred, jealousy, greed, and fear, depression, anxiety, then carelessness. Okay, then we can say corruption. Okay, all these things are tamas qualities. So one is sattvic, other is tamas. So these both the qualities are extremely they are opposites. Okay, right. And there is another component which is called a rajasic quality, which is called as ego component. Ego component means, see, you may do good things, but the thing is, you do it for your own self. Okay. For example, even if you help, you would have seen a lot of people, no, who have contributed to a temple. Suppose somebody has contributed a tube light for the temple. Okay, tube light bulb. Okay. Then they used to write that on the light bulb. Okay, contributed by so and so. Even the bulb's light won't come out. So that much they will write, paint the name on the tube light. Okay. So what does that mean? So you are doing a helping, you are helping somebody, but you are writing, you are doing for your own pride, right? You are doing for your own fame. So this is an ego component. Okay. So ego components, you can come as excessive desire to live, excessive desire to accumulate wealth, excessive desire to get more power, get more fame. So all these things are ego components. That is called rajasic qualities, or you can call it as rajas qualities. So what are the 3 qualities? One is sattvic, all positive qualities. Next is tamasic, which is all negative qualities. And third one is the ego qualities, which is called rajasic. Okay. So all these 3 qualities exist in our subconscious mind. All these 3. Because based on our impression only, these 3 qualities exist. And as far as as far as humanity is concerned, no quality can be zero. I'm telling you, no quality can be zero, which means take a Buddha. Even he will have a percentage of tamasic quality and rajasic quality. Buddha is an epitome of sattvic quality, right? But even Buddha, he will have a small percentage of tamasic quality and rajasic quality. Okay. So likewise, you take a corrupt of a corrupt person. Okay. He will also have a small percentage of sattvic qualities, which is a good quality. Okay. Which means any quality to be zero is precluded. It cannot happen. So which means all the qualities will be there. But what makes the person good person, and what makes a person a bad person, and what makes a person an egoistic person? It is the combination of the qualities, which means whichever is higher. So the positive quality is higher, then he is called a good person. It doesn't mean that he will not get angry. He will get angry definitely. It doesn't mean that a good person will not have any fear. He will have fear definitely, right? But he expresses the positive qualities most of the times outside. Okay, so his personality is shaped up by his character, which he exhibits. So positive quality he exhibits, so is termed as a positive person, very good person, right? Then if a person who is called a very angry person, very corrupt person, very jealous person, people will not go near him, right? So we have seen, oh, no, don't go near him. He's a very, very jealous person, and he has always has negative vibrations, and he's always pessimistic. So don't go near him. So we used to say like that, no? Certain people we see and we say like that. So what makes the difference? Those people exhibit the tamasic qualities very much. So that is the reason people don't go near them. So that's a tamasic qualities. Then the rajasic qualities, you have a lot of people who are power hungry people. Okay. They accumulate a lot of wealth, very, very selfish people. They don't help anybody, but they overpower a lot of people. They are very autocratic. Okay. So these kind of people, they also have good qualities, but they exhibit more rajasic. So this is the combination. So sattva qualities, rajas qualities, and the tamasic qualities. Okay. So to be a positive person, which quality has to be higher inside us? It is a sattva quality, sattvic quality. Okay. I think there is no dispute in that. Okay. So sattva qualities. So how to increase our sattva qualities? Positivity is one of the very, very basic sattva quality. Very, very elementary sattva quality, very, very fundamental sattva quality, and very, very important sattva quality. So once you increase positivity, automatically what happens is all your other good qualities will increase. That is what I have discovered. Not me means not me. I have my guru, my mentor. I learned all these things. So whatever I am talking now, I am not attributing that to myself. Nothing is my own finding, and all the things are I have learned. Okay. So nothing is of my own. I'm just sharing because I have learned from various people. They have taught me. And one thing I can say is I've been following all these things. Whatever I'm telling now, I've been following all these things. So I have that what you say, some morality to say that these things will definitely work. So that much I can say, because I have applied. I'm applying. I already applied, and I am applying, and I will continue to apply all these things in my life. So okay, so sattva qualities. So how to increase our sattva qualities? So by raising the positive qualities, positivity, all other sattva qualities will increase. So once a person is very positive, he will definitely be a helping person. He will definitely be a caring person, right? He will definitely be a very compassionate person. He will definitely be an empathizing person, and he will definitely be a humble person. A positive person will always be a self-disciplined person. You need not tell him what he should do. He knows. Okay. He's a self-disciplined person. And a very positive person will always be a courageous person. He will not fear for everything. Okay. A really positive person will be a very thoughtful person, which means even in a tough situation, his mind can be very clear and he can take a right decision in tough times. Okay, this is a very, very important leadership quality. We ever need all these qualities. And a very positive person will be an intuitive person. Okay, so positive quality, by raising one quality, you will raise all other qualities. Is it not a big bonanza for us? Okay, so we don't have time to raise all the other, each and every quality we have to work on it. We don't have time, right? So focus on one quality, which means all other qualities will increase. So before going further, let me sum up a little bit. So there is a mind. Our mind has layers like a conscious mind and subconscious mind. There is something called unconscious mind, which I'm not talking right now. Unconscious mind is the sleep state. Okay, that also is a big ocean. We can talk a lot about it, but not in the. It doesn't come into the purview of this talk. Okay, so my focus is on the character building. So I'm talking about the subconscious. So subconscious, there are three qualities which is already there in the subconscious. One is the sattva quality, which is positive, rajasic quality, which is an ego component, and the tamasic qualities, which are all negative qualities. And everybody have these three components at a varying percentages. The person who is a good person means he will be having extra sattvic qualities. Means, for example, 70% sattvic qualities, 10% rajasic quality, and 20% tamasic quality, like that. Okay, so the major percentage will be a sattvic quality. For a very wicked person, the major percentage will be a tamasic quality, and for a very egoistic person, the major percentage will be a rajasic quality. Okay, so to be a very, very good person, to be a very likable person, to be very respectable person by the society, to be very lovable person, we have to enhance our sattvic qualities. Okay, more of our sattvic quality should come out. So how we can enhance our sattvic qualities? By enhancing one quality, which is called positivity, we can raise all other qualities. Okay, so till now I think you are very clear about it. So we'll go further. Right. So how to enhance our positive qualities? I'm going to now teach you some techniques which you can practice. So these techniques are very, very common techniques, but there are some riders. Okay, some riders are there. So because just like that, you cannot use these techniques. You have to use this technique correctly. Otherwise, it will not work. Okay, you have to use these techniques correctly. There are some riders, okay, which you have to be very careful about. So that is what I'm going to share right now. This whatever technique which I'm going to share right now is a very, very common technique. You can find it everywhere, and you can find people using this, already using this technique. Also, you can find a lot of people, and probably you may be some people who are already using these techniques. I don't know. If you are already using this technique, then you are really a gifted people. I can say that. Okay, right. So the first technique which I'm going to give practice also. You can just try it out, because wherever you are, you can just plug in your earphone and you can just try it out. Okay, because talking doesn't matter, experiencing matters. Okay, if I say if I name a sweet shop, okay, say some Haldiram. Hey, Haldiram has come up with a very new sweet right now. Have you tasted it? Then you will say, no. It's a special type of laddu they have produced. That's a fantastic taste. I can talk a lot about laddu. Okay. I can describe the laddu. Okay. But will that be enough for you? So you have to taste it, right? Otherwise, how do you know? How much I can explain, it doesn't matter. Once you taste it, then definitely it becomes your experience, right? So that is what matters more. So I focus on practice, very less of theory. I focus, and I'll give some practice also. I hope it's a very, very simple practices. So the first practice is a first technique. I'll call it as a technique. So first technique is a very common technique. You go to any successful person, he would have used this technique at least a couple of times in his life. Okay, very common technique. So that technique is called affirmation, self-affirmation, you can say. Okay, so to develop positivity, the basic, very basic technique is affirmation. You would have known this technique right from your childhood, and many people would have taught you this technique, but I doubt how many are using this technique. Knowing this technique is different, using this technique is different. Okay, you may know many things. You can know cricket. Knowing cricket is different, playing cricket is different, right? Knowing swimming is different, and really swimming is different. Okay, so you may know this technique by the name, but I don't know how many are practicing it. Even if you are not practicing it, start it right now. Okay, those you are already practicing it, please continue, don't leave it. And okay, that's what I can say. And what are the riders in this technique? So first let's have a practice, and before that I'll tell the riders. The first thing is, decide something which you want to achieve, or decide something which you want to have, or decide something which you want to possess. You may want to buy a new car, or you may want to buy do a PhD, or you may want to do some research, or you want to become a lovable person, and you want all your students to love you so much. So I like that. So whatever you want, okay, I'm just telling some examples. Whatever you want, you just first decide about it. Only one thing. You may want 100 things. Choose one out of that 100 right now for just a practice purpose. Okay, choose one thing. Decide one thing. Right. Second thing is, make a small sentence out of it, and make the sentence in a present tense. Okay, it should not be like I want to buy a new car, or you want to you name the car also. I want to buy a Audi, white color Audi. Okay, for example, I'm saying. Don't say that I want to buy. I want to buy is something which you are expecting to buy in future. So make it like, I am a Audi car owner. Make it like that. Make it as if you are already having it. Okay, so make it as a present tense. So I am an Audi car owner. I own, or otherwise you can say I own a white color Audi, like that. Okay, so instead of I want to, don't use the word want to. Okay, you put it like you already have it. Okay, right, like that. You just imagine, frame a sentence in your mind like that. And next point means, which is the third point, please check that you don't use any negative word in that sentence. For example, so I want to be free from diabetes. Okay, here can we use this statement? No, because diabetes is a negative word which we want to avoid it, right? So you should not use that word in the sentence. Instead, you can means I want to be free from corona. No, don't use it. You cannot, you should not use it. But instead, you can frame your sentence like, I am healthy. I am healthy means automatically all the diseases are staying away, right? You want all the diseases to stay away, including diabetes, including corona. Why name like that? Okay, so I am healthy. So that is the kind of sentence which is a very positive sentence you have to frame. So I am health is a positive word, disease is a negative word, right? Don't use like I want to be free from anxiety. Don't say that. Anxiety is a negative word, right? So what you can say, I am very peaceful. So peacefulness is the opposite to anxiety. Anxiety is the excited mind, right? Peaceful is the very calm mind. So I am peaceful. Use that word. So now you understand, right? So first thing is, decide about what you want. Second is, frame a small sentence out of it with the present tense. Okay. Third is, avoid using negative words. So with these three riders, These are the right. So many people who do the affirmation, they commit this kind of mistakes. Okay. So it has to be like this. So imagine please remember these three points. Okay. Now the fourth step is you have to repeat it 10 times. Repeat the sentence 10 times within your mind. Okay. Right. I'm just going to give you 10 seconds. You repeat it within your mind. Close your eyes and repeat within your mind. Okay, fantastic. So this is the process. So you can take one wish per week, repeat that wish for 1 week, then take the next wish. Okay. So like that, if you keep repeating, what will happen over a period of time, which means simple. Positive means whatever you want. In positive is a subjective word. Okay. It is not something which is a generalized word. It is a subjective word. See, for me, something may be positive. For you, something may be positive. Okay. For me, for you, saving a life may be positive, and for me, killing an enemy may be positive. Okay, because he is my enemy, he should die, right? I should kill him. Okay, so killing may be positive for me. Okay, so forget about all these things. So this is subjective. Positivity is positive is a subjective one. So whatever is good for you is positive. Now what are you doing? You are just going to repeat. You are doing the affirmation only for whatever you want, right? So over a period of time, means I'm not saying 50 years, 60 years. No, when you start the practice, within 1 month you will find that your mind is totally filled with things whatever you want. Okay, automatically whatever you want, the thoughts is coming, whatever you want, so those thoughts are coming. Whatever you don't want, those thoughts will not come. Okay, which means you are filling your mind with more with your aspirations. Okay, so aspirations is very positive. So you are filling your mind with aspirations. So your mind starts thinking more about what you have fed inside. Do you understand? So automatically you will feel confident. Automatically you will feel positive. Automatically you will feel very helping, sharing. All these things will automatically come from inside you. Okay, because you will feel a very strong person. So automatically what happens? A strong person will help the weaker person. So the helping, caring, sharing, giving, everything comes out of you. And that whatever you have programmed inside, that will drive you, which means automatically self-discipline will come, time management will come. Nobody need to tell you. A better decision making will come because you know what you want very clearly. You know what you want, right? So you will take right decisions. So all these things will come with this small step, which is called affirmation. Okay, very powerful technique, very simpler technique. Also, you can use it every time. Whenever you are free, you just keep repeating. You frame a sentence, decide one sentence per week. Okay, every Sunday you decide the sentence. Then throughout from Sunday to Saturday, you keep repeating that sentence. I just said 10 minutes, but 10 times, but you can repeat it as many times as you want. Whenever you find time, immediately repeat it 10 times. Before, when you wake up, repeat 10 times. When you find, whenever in the middle of the day, whenever you find time, repeat it. Okay, before going to bed, you repeat it. So just keep doing it. So within 1 month, you will find that all your thoughts are channelized towards whatever you want. Okay, so that gives a very positive sensation for you. Even if whatever you don't want, whatever you did not want, even if it happens, what happens? You know whatever you want, right? So immediately you know how to avoid that, and you can move on. Even if some block has come, you have the enough strength to tide over that block. Okay, so that kind of your mind will get that much courage, that much strength. Do you understand? So this is one technique. I'm going to teach you the second technique. Okay. This is also a very, very common technique. Okay. But the thing is, like affirmation, it also has riders, which means you have to apply something. Otherwise, it may not give you result. Okay. Or it may give you other adverse result also, we do not know. So you have to be extremely careful when you are using these kind of affirmations. Never ever use a single negativity. Never ever bring even a small negative thought into whenever you are doing this. Okay. So you should be extremely careful about it. Second is called visualization, which means in affirmation you formed a phrase, right? In visualization you are going to create a movie. Okay, your own movie. Very, very interesting movie, which because it is going to be, you are going to create that movie, so it is going to be very, very interesting for you. This is also very simple technique. What you have to do is gently close your eyes and imagine you sitting inside a cinema theater. Only you are only sitting, and you have a blank, empty, white, huge screen in front of you. Everything else is darker. Only this white screen is visible. Look at the screen for 1 minute, so that if any thought comes, immediately you imagine that white screen. So what will happen? You will become a thoughtless person after 1 minute. No other thoughts will come. Now, create the vision of whatever you want to happen, whatever you want. For example, already for affirmation, you have used something, right? Now, create that into a picture. Suppose, for example, I said that white color Audi car, right? Now, I will create a picture that I am driving a white color Audi car. Okay. I'm driving and my family is inside the car and my wife is there, children are there, my parents are also there. So the entire family is going for a hill station. So we can just imagine, right? So this kind of imagination is called visualization. So whatever you visualize, definitely that will happen over a period of time. Not only that, the process itself gives you a lot of confidence. The process itself improves your positivity. The process itself improves your courage. The process itself gives you a very good feel. Okay. That will give you strength. Okay, then. So now I just want you to visualize for 10 seconds. Do the visualization. Whatever you have planned for affirmation, do it. Imagine yourself inside the theater. Imagine the white screen. Just watch the white screen for 10 seconds. Any thoughts comes, immediately focus on the white screen. Make the screen white, blank in front of you. Now create your picture. You imagine whatever you want. You see it as a cinema. Right? You are projecting your thought on the white screen. And whatever you want to see, you see there. Okay, just 10 seconds. Okay, fine. So now this is a visualization process. So anyways, I'll tell you, if I tell you some data, you will be really surprised. When we analyze our thought, you can just sit and do your own analysis when you have time. You can sit and do your own analysis. When you analyze your thoughts, you will find that 95% of your thoughts, generally for a commoner, I'm saying, for any common human being, and people who have already done this and who have already segregated the thoughts and who have already worked on the thoughts, they will have a higher efficiency, higher strike rate. Okay, but what I'm saying is people who have never given a thought to all these concepts, okay, to them I'm saying, if they do a small analysis, we can find that 95% of our thought is useless for us. Okay, 95%. In a single day, 95% we are thinking about what is not useful for us, which means we may think about something worrying. Okay, so it's a worrisome thoughts which has not happened at all. You may be thinking about your past, you may be thinking about your future, or something which is useless. Okay, thinking about other people. Okay, so of what use, right? Rather, we should think about our own self, right? What do we want? What do we want to achieve? This is what I want, and this is what I should do. This is what I am doing, and this I should do it in a better manner. How can I learn this? How can I do this? See, all these thoughts are not coming. It's only 5%. Balance 95% are useless thoughts, right? So if you follow affirmation and visualization, you can say that 50% of your thoughts will be useful thoughts. I'm not guaranteeing 100%, right? I'm saying 50%. See, instead of 5% useful thoughts, you will get 50% useful thoughts. Is it not good for us? Right? Is it not positive for us? Everything is very, very, very positive. Yes, sir. So use these techniques. So just keep repeatedly doing this technique. And I'll tell you a story also. Means a lot of things happen to us through visualization, because see, I'm a corporate trainer. We do corporate training in Ascent Transformation. So once you want to get a client, so what we normally do is we see the logo of that client. Okay, we see the logo of the client, and we do visualization. Okay, repeatedly we see that logo, and the thing is, I imagine that we are conducting the training program in that premises. We don't know how the premises looks, but logo is the catch point, right? So once I imagine the logo from behind me, and I'm standing in front of the logo, and I'm conducting, some people are sitting in front of me, and I'm conducting a program for them. So that becomes some visualization that I'm doing a program for that company. Oh, some kind of visualization. You will not believe, over a period of time that happens. It may take time also. We don't know. It may happen within 1 month or even 6 months. And some client has come after 3 years for me. I have not approached that client. They have come to us. Okay, automatically. We have only visualized that client, that we will be conducting program for that client. They came to us. So like that, so many clients come to us when we visualize their logo. Okay, so what I'm saying is visualization is a very powerful process. It will actualize whatever you are seeing, because mind has the capacity to do that. Mind attracts and stores. So even the subconscious mind, it attracts a lot. Without you knowing, it will attract a lot of things. Even right now, I am speaking, and your subconscious mind, you may be thinking about something else, right? You are 100%, you may not be listening to what I'm speaking, but the thing is, your thoughts will go something else. So where the thought came from? So your subconscious is pulling the thought from somewhere else, right? So how many have experienced this phenomenon? Almost all would have experienced this phenomenon. Suddenly you are driving somewhere. Okay, you are driving somewhere. Suddenly you will find that a song is going on inside you repeatedly. You are singing a song. You are trying to stop that song. Means somebody, your subconscious mind is singing that song repeatedly. Okay, you are trying to stop that song, but you couldn't stop that. When you try to stop that, immediately it starts once again. So it repeats and repeats. Then you really surprised, hey, where from I got this song? Why I am singing this song repeatedly? Then you will realize that while driving, you have passed a tea shop. In that tea shop, this song would have been playing. Okay, you have crossed 10 kilometers, but you crossed that tea shop within half a second, maybe, or 1 second. Within 1 second, your subconscious mind has got that song. Okay, then it started playing inside your mind. So that you realize only after 10 kilometers. Hey, what is happening? Why I am singing this song? Where from I got this song? Okay, you got it from a tea shop. So that is the power of the subconscious mind. I'm saying it pulls everything. Okay, so whatever you feed inside your subconscious mind, it becomes a reality. So the mind will, subconscious mind will attract the scenario. Whatever, if you are fed, whatever you are fed, the subconscious mind will attract the scenario, and it makes it really actualizes whatever you are thinking. Okay, then these are the two techniques which you follow. These are all common techniques. There are, of course, there are hundreds of techniques. You can just Google like reprogramming subconscious mind and all. You'll get a lot of techniques, and you can learn even more interesting techniques also from that. But what I have shared with you in this session is only two very basic techniques. But the thing is, with the riders, means basic technique means how you have to do it, how you should make it workable, right? So there are some riders which you should be very careful about it in using that riders. Once you use that use this technique in a very correct manner, definitely it is going to give you enormous positive feeling inside. Okay, so you are going to become a very positive person, right? So you have already become a very positive person right now in this what is called 1 hour. Okay, I'm just going to end this session in another 5 minutes time. So my question is, you are a very positive person right now. Is that enough? You have to spread your positivity outside. Yes or no? It's not enough. So being a positive person is alone not enough. You have to express your positivity. You have to make others positive. All right. You have to spread wherever you are. You have to spread positivity. People should feel so enthusiastic sitting near you. Right. Whenever somebody is feeling bad or somebody is feeling sorrowful, immediately they should search you. Why? Because you are a positive person. By reaching to you, that person will get some solace. Okay, that person will get peace of mind. So that kind of positivity magnet you should be. Okay, so just developing positivity alone is not enough. You have to spread the positivity all around. Okay, spread the positivity. So how to do that? I will teach you. I'll tell you strategies. 4 strategies I'm going to tell you. This will make you each and every one a most sought after person. 4 strategies I'm going to tell you, very simple strategies. These strategies will make each one of you really a sought after person. You will become a lovable person. People will come to you. People will seek your advices. People will feel very comfortable by your side, and you will be really a magnet. Okay, 4 strategies which I have learned in my life and which I have been using it for several years, and I'm going to share that with you. First strategy is very easy, because these are all very common strategies. But the thing is, you know all these strategies. But the question is again, are we applying? Right? Are we applying? So that is the question. So we need to apply this strategy. So strategy is not about learning and knowing. It is about application. So once you apply, then only it will give results. Okay. It is like a Haldiram's laddu. You should eat it. Then only you can find the result. Okay. So first strategy is appreciation. Appreciate others. There is something which I call as magic words. So what are those words? Anything like fantastic, wonderful, excellent, marvelous, very nice, very good, exuberant, enthralling, enterprising. Okay, so these are the words which is called magic words. Okay, magic words. So use more magic words to appreciate other people. So once you appreciate, well, see, there's a technique in appreciation. Appreciation can be done as a mundane practice, means just for the sake of doing. Okay, good. Okay, fantastic. So this will not help. You have to do it from your heart, because people are not fools. They know whether we are appreciating from our heart really, or we are just doing a lip service. People will know that. Okay, so lip service won't help. Appreciation should come from the heart. So for that, what we have to do is we have to make our appreciation more authentic. How to make our appreciation more authentic means you have to explain why you are appreciating the other person. That makes it more authentic. I am really very happy with you because I have not seen anybody who have done this. You have done this in an extraordinary way. Okay, we can tell our wife, really, this rasam is very, very fantastic. Okay. Why? Because nowhere because I've been traveling, I have been taking food anywhere, but nobody can match this rasam of yours. Okay, so you are giving an explanation for why you are appreciating, right? So you give a reason for appreciation, which means that makes your appreciation more authentic. Okay, so appreciation is the first strategy. Appreciate others using magic words. Use magic words. Okay, fantastic, wonderful, excellent, marvelous. So it comes with practice. Okay, once you start using it, it becomes once you 2 days you have to use it consciously. Then after from the third day onwards, what happens? No, it comes from your mouth automatically. It becomes your habit. Okay, so appreciation should become your habit. So which means you have to practice consciously for some time, then automatically it becomes a routine process for us, appreciating others. So appreciating means naturally you should find positivity in others, otherwise positive things in others, otherwise you cannot appreciate, right? So naturally you will search for good qualities of others to appreciate. So find opportunity to appreciate and appreciate others. So this is the first strategy. Second is helping. Whatever possible help, please do it. Okay. Helping is a great quality. Whatever positive, whatever way you can help, you do it. Let it be very small help. It doesn't matter. Small help is a help. Okay. Small help or big help. No, it doesn't matter. Just keep helping. Make it as a habit that at least you help 10 people every day. Okay. Make it as a habit. Small help. Just by crossing the road or somebody has put something down, you just pick it up and give. So that also is a help, right? So small things. Just make it as a habit that you help at least 10 people every day. You have a lot of students to help. You need not go and search anywhere for people to help. You have students. Help students, that's all. Nowhere, you need not go anywhere. Okay, you all have within you, means within your classroom. Then third quality is a very, very, very important quality, which is called asking apology. Whenever you find that you are wrong, don't cover it up. Okay. Many people, they cover it up. Many people immediately, when somebody points finger at you are wrong, then immediately people say that, no, you are also wrong. Okay. That is fine. But the thing is, ask apology. When you admit it and ask apology, when we are wrong, when we ourselves realize that, why we should expect other people to point at, when we ourselves may realize that we have done something wrong. So immediately ask apology, seek apology. When you have nobody to seek apology to yourself. Sit in a very calm place, sit alone and ask apology to yourself. I have done this, I am wrong, so I should not have done that. Please forgive me. Ask apology to your own true self inside you. Okay. So what happens is this will reduce the ego. Okay, ego. Once for egoistic people, other people they don't come near them. Okay. So ego, zero ego is not possible. At least we can have a very transparent ego, not a very opaque or strong ego. Okay, we can have a very transparent ego, right? So this asking apology will reduce the ego. Then the fourth and final thing is gratefulness. Say thank you for everything. Okay, today morning I woke up. Say thank you. Thank God I have not passed away in the night, in the sleep itself. You have given me another day to live. Thank you very much. So say thank you and wake up. So thank everything possible. Even a small boy, small child, you just thank them. Be grateful for each and everything. Okay. Be grateful for taking in the air. Now we have to be very grateful, right? Because breathing itself has become very difficult for most of the people. People live in oxygen. We live with oxygen cylinders, right? Now we are able to breathe very freely. We should be very thankful for that. Okay. So thankfulness. So I'm just putting that into context. 4 strategies for spreading positivity. One is appreciation. Second is helping others. Third is asking forgiveness whenever it matters. Fourth is being grateful to each and everything. Okay. So once you follow this 4 strategy for some time, it becomes your habit. Once it becomes your habit, then you will become a magnet of positivity. You will start spreading positivity everywhere. So just tell me, you can share in your comment box. Just tell me, will this positivity not helpful for your profession? What you can do with this such a kind of positivity in your profession? I am working with students, actually, lot of students, and let me share my experience. We work with the concept, I'm just going to conclude that I'm just trying to connect this positivity with your profession. Okay. We are corporate trainers, but we started conducting programs for college students free of cost, especially the students from rural areas. We are conducting programs free of cost, right? For to them, actually, those students made me to remember our statement. Once a very ancient Sufi quote, which is called "God does not throw garbage on earth." Okay, which means it's an ancient Sufi saying, God does not throw garbage on earth, which means everybody has something inside. Okay. And then people used to ask me, hey, you see a beggar sleeping by the roadside. You mean he is also a jewel? Yes, he is a jewel. Only thing is he has not realized that. That's all. He himself has a potential. If he realizes that, then that will come out. He should be provided an opportunity to come out. Once provided that ambience, everybody will come out. Okay. So nobody is a waste in this society, in this birth. Okay. Everybody has something inside. The faculty members who are able to see positivity in others, they can identify what is positive among the student. They will stop complaining and start motivating them. Okay. So motivating the students, automatically they become more positive. Positivity of the faculty will get transferred to the positivity of the students, right? Then the students will become more positive. So the entire ambience will become very positive. So everybody will be exhibiting their talent. Everybody will be exhibiting whatever they carry inside. Okay. So that much phenomenal ambience we can create. It is an electrifying ambience which we can create in our educational institutions. Okay. So that will create a next generation. Now you see this generation, what is happening. Most of the people are with social media, they get influenced. They are not really caring for many things. They don't have the really care for the value systems. See, this is a kind of a generation which is evolving, but we have the responsibility to change that generation, because these youngsters are tomorrow's pillars for our nation, right? So if these youngsters are getting addicted to games and other social media things, they will become really useless over a period of time. Yes or no? So instead of to make them more responsible, we have to make them more positive, and that is with all the faculty members of the colleges. We have that responsibility. We all have that responsibility. So let us be very positive. Let us develop our positive qualities. Let us spread our positive qualities, and let us make a entire generation of a positive generation for our nation. Okay. So in future, India is eyeing to be a superpower, and that can happen only if the youth population, because we all know, right? India is the youngest nation in the world right now, having the more number of youth population. I think less than age 45. Most of the people are less than age 45. Huge population, right? So this much of youngsters, it is like both the ways. They may become a blessing for our nation, or they may become a curse for our nation. Okay. If they are not used properly, it will become a curse, because these kind of youngsters, they are all very emotional. they take negative, they take a wrong path. Okay, if they are not given proper positivity, if they are not given proper positivity, there are chances that they may take a wrong path. So in that case, they may become a curse for our nation. Otherwise, they will become a blessing for our nation. And whether they will become a blessing or a curse for our nation, it is in whose hands? It is in our hands, the hands of the faculty members. So our responsibility is very huge, and I request all of you to take up that responsibility. And I request all of us, let us all unite and create a very wonderful generation for future India to become a superpower. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And here's a question from one of our participants, Mr. Loganathan, which is how to handle the pessimistic people around us.
Absolutely. So fantastic question. See, our strategy is don't try to, first of all, the thing is we should be very positive, right? Which means there are two ways to look at it. One is identify your negativities and remove it. This is number one, first strategy. Second is enhance, don't worry about your negativity, let it be so. Enhance your positivity. Okay, this is another strategy. And I go by the second strategy. I don't care about what are the things which are negative inside me. I don't care about it. I focus on enhancing my positivity. So the more I enhance my positivity, my negativities become insignificant for me. Okay, yes or no? The same is with other people. So there are so many pessimistic people, but we keep spreading positivity. Okay, it is not that we can change everybody. It is not possible. It all depends on their level of consciousness. Okay, but at the student level, I can say definitely they can be changed because it is their age. Student level, definitely they can be made very positive. But if the people are more elder, for example, suppose somebody is age is 60 or 70, it's very difficult to, he has grown up totally negative way of life. Okay, so to instill positivity in them, it is very, very difficult. I also give talks to elderly people. Okay, so what I do is I don't give any advices, or I just share their concern. That's all. I just make them to speak, and I'll be a listener. Okay, so please speak. Okay, let them speak their. So once they speak out their problem, that itself gives them solace. So whoever are negative people, just allow them to speak and simply listen. And also, we should be very, very important that it should not enter our subconscious mind. So we should have a protection for us. Okay, just allow them to speak, listen, and don't take it to your mind. Okay, just be vigilant. Okay, whatever you want to take, you take. Don't take entire negativity inside you, because we are also struggling, and we are struggling to become very positive. So negativity from external factors should not affect us. So take a guard and allow the positive, then give them solace. Okay, so don't worry. You are make them feel comfortable. That itself is enough. Okay, don't worry about it. Yes, I have heard you. Okay, so whatever you are feeling, your fears are real, and I agree with you. So like that you say. Okay, so that will give them some solace. It will not give them a cure, but it will give them solace. I think that should be enough for us.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
The main idea is to focus our energy on where it works than where it doesn't work. Okay, suppose if we are able to transform 20 people, that itself is phenomenal. Instead of struggling with 100 negative people, if we are able to transform 20 people who are very receptive into very positive people, that itself is phenomenal. Yeah, next.
Yeah, thank you, sir. And that's it. Thank you so much, sir. You took the program to a greater level by your passionate and positive speech, and your presence is really inspirational for us. As like me, I hope every participant felt the positive vibes in them, and thank you so much for that, sir. And dear participants, for your kind information, tomorrow the program will be on the topic e-content development. So
somebody has
request every participant.
Yeah, sorry for interruption, ma'am. Somebody has requested mail ID. You can share my mail ID. It's already available.
Yes, sir, sure. We'll share.
Whoever asks for mail ID. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure, sir, sure. And participants kindly have a laptop with the MS Word, the version 2010 or the latest version for tomorrow's session. And thank you so much, sir. Now I call upon Ms. Sudarshana, Assistant Professor, to deliver vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sudarshana, and I'm here to present the vote of thanks for today faculty development program. First of all, I would like to propose hearty vote of thanks to our chief guest, Mr. Raja Atmayan, sir, for gracing today's section. Thank you, sir, for your very interesting and thought-provoking address. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I would like to thank our managing director and governing council member, Mr. Sengutwan sir and Ms. Raghavi Sengutwan ma'am, for arranging this program. Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am. I would like to express our profound gratitude to our principal, Mr. Vincent sir, for his presence in this program. Thank you, sir. I would also like to thank our beloved HOD, Mr. Selvarasu sir. Thank you, sir. And I am happy to express vote of thanks to our staff members to attending this program. Thank you all.
Thank you all. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Have a pleasant day. Thank you and stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
All the best to you and all the best for your positivity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.